Why can't I break 90? A question thought over by so many golfers around the world, and as easy as it seems to simply bogey every hole and get one par, it just doesn't happen. Again, 18 over par gives golfers so much room for error, yet so much stress and confusion comes with the thoughts of breaking 90. So I'll ask again, why can't you break 90? Is it your swing? What about your course management? Maybe it's your putting grip. Forget everything you thought about breaking 90, because none of these things I mentioned will fix the problem. The true problem, that is. So let me fill you in as to why you can't break 90, and the secrets to fixing the true problem. Before we dive straight into the video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel, and turn on that notification bell so you can be updated every time we post a new video. So without further ado, let's get right into how to break 90, and welcome back to the Golf Vault. What is the most important club in your bag? The answer is the putter. Without a doubt, the putter is the most crucial club in your bag. But why is it so important? Aren't approach shots and hitting greens the most important? No, this is not the case. Did you know that over 40% of your strokes happen on the green? Yet, most high handicappers spend more time practicing with their irons than they do with their putter. It doesn't add up. And the problem is that most people don't understand the statistics. They don't understand that to gain major strokes on the field, you need to practice your putting. If it hasn't clicked yet, the first step to breaking 90 and solving your major problem is making a priority out of your putter. Build a putting routine, one that works, and practice it religiously. This can be as simple as a few practice strokes, a breath, and a steady stance, and it's all up to your imagination and comfortability. Focus on those lag putts. Your aim should be to get the putt inside a 3-foot circle around the hole, every time. This reduces your chance of 3-putting, because what kills your scores isn't missing the green, it's those 3-putts. And if we can avoid 3-putts, breaking 90 is so much easier. And finally, make sure to seriously read the greens. Spend more time assessing your putts, checking the slope, and visualizing the path your ball will take. Too many times we see players rush their putts and think it really can't make that much of a difference. But trust us, it makes all the difference, especially if you want to break 90. You're either going to love or hate what we're about to talk about. It is in fact the driver. This is the club that can set the tone for your entire round. But here's a common mistake that's hurting most of you high handicappers. You often overuse it or try to get too fancy with it. And this is most likely why you don't feel confident with it. You don't need to smash the ball 300 yards down the fairway. Your goal with the driver should be simple. Poke the ball and play. It's going to go farther than any other club in your bag, so you don't have to stress the distance issue and try to swing like Rory McIlroy. Let's look at a few key things to focus on with your driver. Instead of worrying about distance, prioritize control. Take a 70 to 80% swing speed approach, keeping your tempo smooth and relaxed. Pick one shot shape and stick to it. Whether it's a controlled fade or a gentle draw, find what works and make it your go-to. Forget about practicing these wild power shots. Hit the same controlled shot again and again, so it becomes second nature and muscle memory. Mastering your driver isn't about variety, it's about repetition. Once you have one consistent shot with your driver, your confidence skyrockets, and you'll start each hole with a positive mindset. There's nothing better for your confidence and your scores than hitting your approach shot from the fairway. Is the 30 yards really going to make all the difference for your approach when you risk an uncontrollable swing? The answer is no. The risk is not worth the 30 yards, and your scores will think so as well. Remember, we're trying to break 90, not win the long drive competition. Your wedge is not just for escaping bunkers. It's a versatile tool that can be used for short chips, long chips, flop shots, and full swing approaches. Most golfers don't get as comfortable as they should with their wedges, and it shows in their short game. If you really want to break 90, you're going to have to start getting up and down, at least semi-regularly. Start by getting comfortable with the short chips around the green. Use the wedge to chip onto the green and get it rolling like a putt. Really try and develop a feel for the wedge in your hand, and make sure to remove your glove for shorter chips with the wedge. Feel that ball through the club. Also, practice full swings with your wedge from 50 to 100 yards. Once you know your yardages, these scoring opportunities become a lot more reliable, and with a wedge your accuracy shoots through the roof. One of the main problems for high handicappers is taking accurate full swing approaches with a wedge. It's kind of the in-between. Do you swing it like an iron, or do you swing it like a hard chip? Once you figure it out, you won't have any problems breaking 90, those shots will be way more accurate. Did I mention to use one wedge? Just one. You don't need a 48 all the way up to a 60. Pick one club to really practice with, something versatile like a 54 or a 56 degree. This way, you can hit every type of shot, but still master the singular club. Too often, we see amateurs dealing with way too many clubs. Pick one and stick with it. Trust us. On our checklist to breaking 90, we've discussed that your putter is your new best friend. We don't have to swing our driver like Rory McIlroy, and the entire set of wedges really isn't needed. Seems like something's missing, doesn't it? Don't think we forgot about the irons, because they say save the best for last, don't they? Well, your putter is your best friend, but the irons are important nevertheless, and if we're going to uncover the secret to breaking 90, the irons need to be talked about. Forget about the full set of irons. You really only need 3, a short iron, a mid iron, and a long iron. This simplified approach allows you to focus on perfecting these clubs for various distances. This long iron, mid iron, and short iron can be whatever irons you're most comfortable with. For short iron approach shots, try use your pitching wedge or 9 iron. Anything within 130 yards. You'll get more height and softer landings on the green, and this will greatly benefit you. For mid irons, we look for versatility. Use a 7 or an 8 iron for those mid-range shots. These irons are great for controlled layups or advancing the ball when needed. For those low tee shots when you want to lay up, or those long approaches, use a 4 or a 5 iron. They're also useful for punching out of trouble, so they kind of have a double use there. Instead of practicing every single iron, just focus on these 3. Learn to control distance, shape shots, and hit consistent contact. Once you master 3 irons, you'll have the skills and confidence to use any club in the future. And your scores? Well, your scores will thank you. I don't want to say it, but we might be close to a score that starts with an 8. The key takeaway here is again, pick only a few clubs and really get the hang of them. Learn these true distances and how to take a little off or put a little on to your shots. Especially for you high handicappers, who don't get to practice for 3 hours a day, it's important you practice the same clubs on the regular. So until you break that 90 number, I want to see a minimal amount of irons in your bag. Would you be surprised if I already told you the secret to breaking 90 so many times during this video? It was right there in front of you the whole time. The secret is to keep things simple. There's no need to worry about 14 clubs, outdriving your buddy, or how many yards your draw has. Just practice a simple bag of 7 to 8 clubs. Go out and leave it all on the course with no expectations. All of the golfers who struggle are the ones who are overcomplicating the game. If you keep things simple, keep your poise for a round while not letting your emotions take over, read your putts, and set up each shot like it's the most important, I guarantee you can break 90. Bring 7 or 8 clubs to the range, practice them exclusively, and sleep with your putter. Come back after a couple rounds and leave a comment how it went. And with all that said, you now have the tools to break 90. Not so hard now, is it? If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. We can't wait to see you in the next one. And thanks for tuning in to The Golf Vault.